Hello there, my darling dragon friends. My name is Ariel, I am the Sassy Dragon, and today we are going to be smelling and doing a review of the newest Burberry Goddess flanker, and that would be Burberry Goddess Intense. This is the same perfumer that created the first Burberry Goddess last year in 2023, Amandine Clerc-Marie, and so this is going to be a newer, deeper, more intense version of Burberry Goddess. I have already smelled this, and I am kind of amazed by it, and I really like it. I don't know if I'm going to keep it for myself. I haven't decided yet, because it is very heavy, but let's give it a spray. All right. It doesn't take much. This is one that if you spray this once or twice, you're probably going to be good all day and night, unless you just have the kind of skin chemistry that eats up this particular perfume. It comes out strong. Definitely strong lavender in the top. Much stronger to me than the original. You know, this new one, I wish, the only thing that I'll say on the presentation, I wish that they had made this bottle maybe a little deeper, a little darker. And they made it just a little darker, but this is the original, this is the new one. And there's not a lot of difference. Like if I had both of them and I was reaching for them, I'd have to like check for a second and be like, okay, which one is it? Because they look really, really similar, and I wish that they had maybe, I don't know, maybe made this gold a little deeper or darker, something just to, you know, designate it just a little more. That's just a little nitpicky thing, you know. So the lavender comes out much stronger at the top of this. In the original one, it had lavender, ginger, cacao, and another vanilla, I think, in the very top. But this one replaces that top note just with a very strong, to me, very French lavender. It's that more fresh, bracing, pulls more masculine, you know, if you go for gendering fragrances, which I'm not a big fan of doing, because I believe anyone can wear anything that they really enjoy. There's no rules there. But in the, you know, kind of typical in the perfume world, we think of, you know, things being more masculine notes or feminine notes or, you know, things like that. So it does have a much more, you know, unisex quality, which is something I really like about this, because I can just see this perfume as being, you know, appropriate for men or women in equal measure. Middle notes, of course, we still have that strong vanilla heart. We have the regular vanilla, the vanilla absolute, the bourbon vanilla, the vanilla caviar. The base note is patchouli, and to me that also turns up the deepness, the unisexness. It gives it definitely a bit of that earthy woodsiness at the base. But the thing that I really get with this one, and it's not listed in the notes, but it reminds me of oud, the Oud Wood. It really has that. You know that scent. You just know that scent. And maybe the combination of the lavender and the patchouli is giving me the oud, but it really has that thing, and that's why I'm not so sure about it, because as much as I enjoy, like, if I smell it on someone else, like, if I smelled this on someone else, I'd be like, oh my gosh, you smell great. But I don't know if I want to smell that on me all day and all night, because when I sprayed this before, I put it on my arm, and let me tell you, this stuff is beast mode lasting on me. I'm amazed by that. Like, usually if I spray something on my arm, it's gonna be gone in an hour or less. This thing, it was sticking around all day and all night, which is rare. So that's why I say, like, 1 or 2 sprays of this, you're probably gonna be good for quite a while. You won't need to touch it up too much unless your body just eats this perfume, because some people, you know, our chemistry is all different. But for me, this one is a long laster. It's definitely more long lasting than the original Goddess. And the only reason that I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this one or exchange it out for something else is because it is strong, and it can become a little overpowering, right? Almost, I wouldn't say cloying. It doesn't have a headache-inducing quality for me. But it's just a little bit like, whoo. It's like, if I'm smelling it this strong on myself, am I knocking people over with my perfume? But it is beautiful. I really like, especially on a guy, like this would be a magnet for to me. I'm just putting that out there for the fellas. Not that it wouldn't smell good on women too. I'm just saying that would be a delicious, vanilla rich like perfume. If a guy really wants a perfume fragrance, but they don't want something that's, too gourmand and girly, this would be the perfect one. I've seen a lot of reviews on this. A lot of them are really negative because people don't like the heaviness of it. And I do get that. But at the same time, I really love that they did something pretty different with this and they really heavied it up. So many perfumes, pretty much every one of them that does well at all is going to create an intense or an extreme version out there, right? But half the time when they do it, it's not much different from the original. So it's kind of like, it's a little different, but not a lot. Sometimes it's just like a different version of it, but not necessarily what you would call an intense version. But this one, to me, lives up to the name of the intense. Because it is so much stronger. It is so much deeper to me. And I feel like there's more going on in the notes than the notes are saying, if you know what I'm saying. It's just, it feels like there's some oud wood or some ebony or something in there, something deeper and woodsier and darker. Just spritzed a little bit of the original. Oh yeah, it's like night and day to me. So much. I mean, you could kind of go night to day. You could spritz a little bit of this in the daytime, and then, it's kind of like changing up your makeup to a nighttime look, changing up your outfit to a nighttime look, put a little bit of this on it, and then you're ready for the nighttime. Because I do feel like, the Burberry Goddess original has a kind of almost solar, brighter, cheerful, up, borderline citrus. It's like got that kind of like, whoo, energizing vanilla. It's still, I love this perfume. I love both of them. I think the original is certainly more wearable, and that's why it's still probably going to outsell the intense one. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to keep it yet. I really like it, but I don't know if I'd wear it enough to justify keeping this big bottle. But it is really nice. It's very, very nice. It really has a great quality, and I do love that our little Amandine, our girl, our perfumer, I'm just really like pleased with the fact that she kind of went more out on a limb with this version and took the risk to make it a little less like crowd pleasing, because this isn't going to be for everyone. She famously worked on one of my favorite polarizing fragrances, Aura by Mugler. And that's a perfume, just like a lot of the old Muglers. It's like people either love them or hate them because they're kind of intense. I wouldn't say that this is like necessarily an unconventional fragrance. It's not like totally out there, oh, I've never seen or smelled anything like this before, but it's just, it is so nice because it brings in some of those more typically masculine notes and melds them with the vanilla, which has become almost synonymous with like every woman's fragrance out there just about these days. So it's like a very grown-up vanilla. It's definitely more of a nighttime fragrance. Definitely. I don't usually ascribe seasons to fragrances, but this is absolutely, I would not wear this in the height of summer because it is, whoo, that heat's gonna hit that and it's really gonna be a lot. So I would say that this for me is more like November, December, January, maybe February. It's like it's those cold months, where your skin isn't as warm, it doesn't project as loud, and you wouldn't need much of it. So in that respect, I would say, even though, these kind of perfumes are not cheap, this is a pretty good buy if you love it, because you're not going to need a whole lot of it at a time. It will last you a while. And I do believe that just like the original Goddess, these are refillable bottles. I love to see more, high-end perfume designers doing that. Mugler was actually one of the first, if not the first, to offer refillable perfume bottles. And the biggest reason for that was because when they made that, the famous Mugler Angel star, making that bottle in that shape was so expensive that they were like, it does not make sense to keep, you know, manufacturing these bottles. They're like a little work of art. So it would be a lot better if people would just refill this bottle again and again instead of us having to keep reproducing them, keep manufacturing them. Obviously, it saves a lot of, you know, extra materials being chucked into landfills. And, you know, I also say, why would you want to throw away these beautiful bottles? Because these perfume bottles themselves are just, you know, they're gorgeous to look at. You know, even this one, which is more simplistic, but still, you know, who wants to throw that out? It's just too nice. So I love the fact that they're making this in a refillable, and more fragrances are following suit. I know Prada Paradox did that. I need to review those really soon. But I don't know. I don't know who, you can tell me who else is jumping on the refillable bottle bandwagon. But thank you so much for spending time with me. Always appreciate you guys. You give the best comments out there. I love your questions, and a lot of you really know what you're talking about, more than me sometimes on a lot of these fragrances, because I am by no means a total expert. I've just been a perfume fan my whole life. So I'm always learning new things about this stuff. And so leave your comments, leave your questions. If there's anything you would like me to review, let me know. Like I say, I may not get to it super fast, but I will try to get to it. And as always, have a wonderful, fabulous fragrance today, and I will see you soon. Take care.